So many times I get asked questions about the opportunity that I had to play on an undefeated national championship team, which is actually Joe Paterno's last undefeated team in 1994. And I will never forget the game that clinched our Big Ten championship was on the road at Illinois, and Illinois had the number one ranked defense at the time. It was a huge game. Of course, we were undefeated at the time, and we were really gearing up for what we thought was going to be a very hard battle. And we realized that we really were going to have to be locked in and present in order to be able to accomplish that long-term goal. A little backstory. We ended up staying at a hotel the night before that happened to be literally on Frat Row. And if you can think of a college campus on Friday night before a huge home game, you can imagine there was a few parties going on that night. And somehow people found out what hotel we were staying in, and somehow young ladies were finding out what rooms we were staying in, and many of my teammates were getting phone calls throughout the night. And so that disrupted our normal pregame sleep pattern. Nobody went out, but it still was distracting. We wake up in the morning only to find out that the power had gone out in the hotel. So this hotel had about 20 to 21 stories. The meeting rooms and the kitchen were on the 21st floor. Our rooms where we slept in were on the 4th, 5th, and 6th levels. So the elevators could not get us up to eat. And also the kitchen that had all our food and the milk and everything had gone out. And so the milk was actually sort of lukewarm. So they bring down and walk down flights of stairs to our bedrooms, lukewarm milk for us to have cereal for our breakfast when we're used to scrambled eggs and grits and potatoes and bacon and all this stuff. We have warm milk and cereal and maybe some toast, not even toasted because the toaster doesn't work because there's no power, for our pregame breakfast. And then for a pregame meal, we normally have all the fixings. You can imagine just a spread of food. And unfortunately, we couldn't get any of it. They went across the street and found a sub shop, and we had hoagies and nasty pizza for our pregame meal. Everything was not going to our plan to play in this huge Big Ten championship game. And we had every excuse to be distracted by everything externally. The fans, they put their fighting band, their marching band, right behind our home bench. So you couldn't even hear each other talk on the sidelines, let alone all the other things that we had went through prior to even getting on the field. We ended up winning the game. But we only won the game because we were confronted with having to have 3 90-plus yard drives to score a touchdown because we started the game down 20-0. And in the second half, we were able to overcome that hurdle, but we did it by this one thing. We had to be present. We had to tune out all the distractions. I had to tune out the marching band. I had to tune out the complaining about I didn't get the meal that I wanted to get. I had to tune out where they placed our lockers before the game. We had to tune all of that out, and I literally had to focus on the words that were coming out of my quarterback's mouth. I had to hear the play. And after he said the play, I had to think about, where do I line up? Once I lined up, what's my assignment? And it even went to the point to where as a unit, we knew that every one of us were going to do our job. We had to stay present with where we were. We couldn't focus on where we were, what was going on, the adversity, the people trying to root against us, people saying you can't go through the Big Ten undefeated. We had to tune all of that out and be present where we were. And thankfully, it did end up working out. But this thing of being present is something that isn't just a tool that you can use on a football field or a tool that I know our military veterans use on the battlefield. This is a basic tool that we can use in our day-to-day life to tune out all the noise, tune out all the excuses, tune out all the distractions, and simply focus on what's in front of you right now and to be present with that. And if you do that, and you do that consistently, you're going to find yourself in position to be more successful than not.